Gina DeLuca here. All right, I am trying a new piggy recipe today. Typically, I use the Golden Regular Gel Matte and Jo Sonja and the Jo Sonja Gloss Varnish. This time, instead of the Jo Sonja, I used some golden color pouring medium matte, and I have the heavy gel matte. So what I do is I added a bit of the golden color pouring medium matte to the bottom of the cup while wearing a mask. Please wear a mask when you're working with pigments. It becomes airborne. If you have studio light, you can see it, and that will get up your nose and into your lungs, and it's never coming out. So please, please, please wear a mask, at least until it's incorporated and not puffing up in front of you. So I added enough of this to cover the bottom of the cup, and added the pigment. How much did I use? I have these little spoons here, and I kind of just did like 2 scoops with these spoons. I have no idea exactly how much that wound up being. I don't really measure unless I'm baking. I'm Italian. Right, so start with the pouring medium in the bottom of the cup, add the pigments to it. It does make more of a thicker slurry than the Jo Sonja varnish does, but it's thicker to begin with. So then I add the heavy gel matte to that, and basically add that so that it's the consistency of a tube paint, and then I add Floetrol to that. So that is how these colors are mixed. I have Algae, Persephone, Golden Peach, and Aquamarine. Also, I have some paint left over from the last painting. I have the Folk Art Treasure Gold Antique Copper. I'm going to add a bit of that, and I have some liquid mirror. This was mixed with the regular gel matte from Golden, and it did sell. So I have gotten some very cool paintings, some very cool cells with the liquid mirror. This is the last one. It's really hard to, it's gonna really be hard to see it until it's varnished for those colors to really show up and pop. But the Persephone made a wonderful showing in this piece. A lot of times it kind of gets tucked in between cells. Really difficult to show. Here is the first one I did with the liquid mirror. It is varnished. It is bling-tastic, but it's a very different kind of bling than most of the other metallic paints, because you can't really see the mica flakes, so it doesn't have the same kind of sparkle as, like, you know, say some of these other pigments mixed in over here. It's a very unusual finish to that, and I've had people ask, you know, it's expensive, is there anything that I can use instead of that? I have not found anything that has quite this same effect. This is just wild. So I have started varnishing. I am going to be having another auction next month sometime. Really busy month next month, so I might only have like one day. It might be the 19th, Saturday the 19th. That's a maybe. I will let you know for sure when I know. but just, you know, keep your eyes peeled for that. I will be having some very cool paintings in that auction. So, okay. This color here, we have Amsterdam Permanent Blue Violet. And that is just mixed with Floetrol. It's about 3 parts Floetrol to 3 parts Floetrol to 1 part paint. The consistency that we are working with, this is about a 2 on my consistency scale. It does make a mound, but it disappears quickly. It's making a nice, thin, even stream off of my stick. If it gets thick and thin and thick again, that means your consistency is inconsistent and you need to keep mixing. Before we get started, have you seen the Fluid Art inspiration cards? If you have, you can fast forward about a minute, but if you have not, what we have are 52 cards. There are 42 technique cards, and each technique card has an associated video here on YouTube that will give you all of the information that you need, the exact paint, brand, color, consistency, the recipe, the technique, all of the things that I can't fit onto a card. That is the video here. This is the painting in this video. This box contains a tip for this technique, and here at the bottom you have the color palette that was used in this painting. These 2 boxes can be used as the basis of a 2-color palette, or you can build off of those colors, and there are 8 bonus color palette cards. Each one has 5 color palettes. You can use all of the colors or just some of the colors, mix and match the bonus color palette cards with the technique cards, and you have more combinations than you could ever paint in a lifetime. These are available at my website, ginadeluca.net, and also at amazon.com. Regarding the liquid mirror, I have done 6 paintings so far with this, and there's enough in this cup to do another 2 or 3 paintings probably, because it does sell up quite well. So if you use too much, you're just going to get just a bunch of cells, which, hey, you know, if that's what you're going for, this is a great great product for that. But I have not even used half of this. It's about right about there. And so that was 6 paintings that I've done, and there's enough here for at least 2 more. So I've gotten 8 paintings and not even halfway through this bottle. So yes, it's expensive. However, it does go a long way. So just keep that in mind. Fluidart.co has the best price that I found for the liquid mirror. So check that out. And that's where the this little piggy comes from, and they also carry Amsterdam. So do check that out. Going to use this again. I'm having a fun time trying to figure out all the cool different patterns that I can get with this. Going to lay down my base coat. I am going to reserve some in the cup for more of that to go in my pouring cup, but also to help me out later on, just in case I need a little extra juice on the corners. You'll notice that I have already covered the edges of my painting with paint. I do that because my mix is pretty thin and I'm using Floetrol. That combination does not give the best coverage on the sides of your canvas, and I don't want to have to go back and fix it later to zhuzh it up. I don't want to have to frame it. So if I cover the edges first, I don't have to worry about what they look like later. Just saves me a step later on. And also, if I am using a custom blended color for my base coat, which I'm not today, but I often do, then it is even harder to touch it up later on, because now I have to get that blend just right. And though I have many skills under my belt, I am not that dude on the interwebs who can color match anything. I have not really worked on that skill yet, so I say yet. Who knows what weird thing my brain will take me to. So we want to lay down a base coat to allow the paint puddle to move easily and evenly across the canvas. Something has to stick to the canvas first. If it's not your base coat, it's going to be your pour puddle, and some of the coolest stuff can happen on the edges, and then you will lose that as the center of your puddle rolls over the edges of your puddle, and then you lose some options as far as your composition goes. All right, gonna pull out old Bernie 2 times, pop some bubbles. Never lace the first try, that's why he's named Bernie 2 times. All right, let's put some paint in a cup. Always check your consistency before adding to your pour cup. The sauce may thicken upon standing. So I'm not doing the typical sink and churn that I often like to do. I kind of want to see what happens just doing it this way. Now the Persephone. I love this color so much. It really changes once it dries. The Floetrol has a very milky appearance, and so it can make your paints look lighter than they actually are. Going to do the Aquamarine here. The Algae. And the liquid mirror. This one I will pour from up high. This one I will let sink because I want some of that to end up in the bottom of my cup. And that does typically happen. All right, and I think one more, just small. Just a wee bit. Not all of the colors again, but some. Yeah, I think that's good. I think that's good. Is that good? Maybe just a little more. Okay, done. And I'm not going to add the top layer like I often do. I'm changing a lot here, I know. That's not how you conduct a proper experiment. You change one thing at a time. But just throwing caution to the wind, letting myself explore, see what happens, what kind of crazy things can happen. Alrighty, let's make a mess, shall we? Yeah, I'm just gonna start in the middle and give it a wiggle. The end of this cup is tricky because it's not pointy. So I'm actually kind of sticking it in the paint a bit. But I see that liquid mirror coming out. Okay. Some funky stuff going on there. Let's see. Do I want to? I think I do. I think I want to do some stuff here. Because why not? We're getting wild, right? Just having some fun. All right, I have to keep this moving because I waited too long. The canvas has been leveled to the table, not the spinner. So I need to be mindful of that. I wonder if I can kind of even this out a little bit. Trying to not change the composition in the center much. It's going to change some. Oh, oh, oh. Stay away from that side. Stay away from the side. I'm just trying to even this out a little bit so when I spin it, it's going to spin a little more evenly. Okay, well, it's going to be wonky. That's just what's going to happen. C'est la vie. Okay. Well, I'm getting so many cells that all those little things that I did, you're not even going to see them. Probably not even going to see them. They're already kind of disappearing. That's okay. And we are starting to run off the edge. And I'm hoping that I don't lose too many of these cells. I'm half tempted to tilt it instead of spinning it. All right, let's give her a twirl. All right, I am going to tilt. I don't like the way that this is looking so wonky. And I think I will just get a better result if I just tilt it. So that's what I'm going to do. I will have more control over what's happening. Always remember to bring your paint back to center before changing direction. I feel like this corner could use a little zhuzhing. It's looking a little bit dry to me. It's not flowing over the edge the way that I would like. So let's just zhuzh up all the corners. If your sides, and I did not do this, if your sides are drying up, it will inhibit the flow of your paint going over the side evenly, which is why this was giving me trouble. Nope. Okay. Let's carry on, shall we? Yeah, if it looks like it's starting to bunch up on you or roll over itself, you are either tilting too fast or your base coat has kind of thickened up on you. Sometimes it can get a skin and be ornery. Going to try very hard to not lose those cells at the top. Okay, come back to center. Oh dear. Oh no. So there were dry spots, and that is why that did not flow over as easily, because there were some spots that were a little drier than the spot next to it, and that gave me wonky. And there's nothing I can do about that except to just dump all of that off, and I don't want to do that. All right, so now I'm going to try to adjust my composition a bit, using the weight of the paint to push it around. And the weight of the paint is going to be wherever it is moving the fastest. That is how you can tell. I did not torch this. Normally I would. I forgot to. How did that happen? Oh, because it was going wonky on me. I was preoccupied. Normally I would torch this before I tilted it. Okay. I think this is going to be very cool when it dries. There's going to be some beautiful colors going on in there. Some of them may have gotten swallowed up a bit, but sometimes they peek through in surprising ways. So I'm going to let this sit, and I will bring you in for a close-up. Back in a few. Okay, here it is. This has been drying overnight, and it is going to be impossible to see the bling on this, sadly. It just does not pick up. But, oh, focus, focus. There's some cool stuff going on here. This is going to be gorgeous when it is dried and varnished. Not sure if I'll be able to. You can see a little bit on the dried edges that there is bling there. But because it is matte, it's not going to bling until I have that varnish on top. But some very cool cells going on. My camera is being crazy. But there it is. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed. I do think I'm gonna try these colors again with just the standard straight pour technique with my regular measuring cup. Kind of want to see what it produces doing that. So stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed, please do like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you are already subscribed, if you are not receiving notifications of my content, please make sure you have clicked that bell to receive the notifications. YouTube changed some things, and less than 1% of my subscribers are seeing the videos, so something ain't right. I cannot wait to see these dry. I wish you could see. It is so hard to catch that bling and the color shift in that purple, where it goes from purple to copper. It's very cool. Do check out the description box below for links to my PayPal tip jar if you feel so inclined, my website GinaDeLuca.net, where you can find my art and music and fluid art and inspiration cards for sale. Also, you will find a link to my affiliates and some coupon codes Fluid Art Company being one of those affiliates, which is where many of these products came from. Also, you will find the link to our Facebook group. Go make some art, join us there, post your masterpieces, ask your questions, get some inspiration. A good time is had by most. It is the internet after all. Let's see. You can see a little bit of the liquid mirror that's dried there, but it's still really hard to see the bling of it. But I think that's it. Is that it? I think that's it. All right. That's it for me for today. I hope y'all have a beautiful day. Now go make some art.